How many actors regretted being in The Walking Dead and even went through an existential crisis because of it? Is there anybody from the cast who received death threats in real life because of their character? Spoiler alert, yes. Hi, I'm Paul and you're watching OSSA. Let's go through a list of all the actors who had a horrible time shooting the never-ending Walk of the Dead, and beware of spoilers, I warned you. Tom Paine, also known as Jesus. I had kind of reached a point in the show where I was a little bit in stasis, Tom Paine said to Entertainment Weekly. And I was like, well, you know, I have to do more with my character, otherwise I'm cool with being killed off. So what happened here? The thing was that Tom Paine got extremely bored playing his character of Paul Jesus Barovia after 4 seasons.
I have been this character for 3 years in my private life as well as on the show, so it'd be nice to have a bit of a break now.
He discussed it multiple times with the showrunners, and they were aware of him being unhappy on the set. Paine's point was to shake things up in the show because according to him the story was getting kind of weak. Let's do something, kill some people, kill me, I don't care, let's do some shocking stuff, he begged. Tom enjoyed the horror and the unexpectedness of the earlier Walking Dead seasons. His favourite characters could be brutally killed, leaving the audience deeply shocked, and that's what the fans always admired about the show, and that's what he got. His character was killed off by his request in season 9, despite the fact that in the comics, Paul Rovia is still alive and involved pretty deeply in the war with the Saviors. But did it make Tom Paine happy about the show? Kind of. You know, generally you're happy on the show if you get one cool thing to do, and I had a really cool beginning and a really cool end, and that's enough for me. However, here comes another of Tom's disappointments about the series. The differences between his character in the comics and on the TV show. In the comics, Jesus gets to do some cool stuff in the Savior War, and Tom Paine even had to sharpen his fighting skills and go through martial arts training, but he couldn't live out a lot of that on the screen, and that's why he was strongly frustrated. Jeffrey Demunn, also known as Dale. Those of you who know the show pretty well should remember Dale Horvath, who was a main character until season 3. It was sad and unexpected to see his sadistic death caused by the walkers, but surprisingly enough, this was something that Jeffrey Demunn asked the producers for. Any idea why he did that? The thing is, there was a scandal on the set around the original showrunner Frank Darabont, who is known to be a close friend of Demunn. Frank Darabont was dismissed from The Walking Dead right in the middle of the season 2 production process, despite the fact that he was actually the one who developed the series for AMC and was the sole showrunner throughout the first season. The true reason why he was fired is unknown, but it was most probably due to contract issues that Darabont and AMC had, or to put it more simply, money. According to Darabont's lawsuit against AMC, and of course he sued AMC after the dismissal, the channel owed him tens of millions of dollars. In 2011, he claimed that AMC artificially reduced the payments for authors of the show, and apparently their contract started sometime before his dismissal. Back to Jeffrey Demunn. He knew Frank Darabont for a pretty long time. They worked together on The Green Mile, The Shawshank Redemption, and The Mist. All of these Stephen King novels were directed by Darabont, and to be 100% fair, let's mention that Darabont was the one who brought Demunn onto The Walking Dead set. So that's why the actor couldn't accept the firing of his old friend and colleague, and asked to be killed off from The Walking Dead. Dale's death was my decision, he said. I was furious about how Frank was pushed off the show. I spent a week not being able to take a full breath, and then I realized, oh, I can quit. So I called them and said, it's a zombie show, kill me, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, that's what I call solidarity with friends. What do you guys think? Did Demunn do the right thing supporting Darabont in such a way? Before we move to the actor who had the worst time working on The Walking Dead because of death threats and serious insults, let's mention other intriguing cases. Laurie Holden, also known as Andriew. Here comes one of the show's most annoying characters. Andrea Harrison got bitten by a walker in season 3, and that obviously led to her leaving the show, and she was far from happy about that. Do you know why? Well, because she was unexpectedly killed off the show and it happened without any warning. Yes, she revealed at the Walker Stalker convention that she had an 8-year deal on The Walking Dead, but for some reason the script was changed and it was not in her favour. Well, I had an 8-year deal. I was supposed to be there until the end, Laurie said. I was supposed to end up with Rick, I was supposed to save Woodbury on a horse, and I was buying a house in Atlanta. But she received a call at 10 o'clock the night before while she was shooting from the showrunner Glenn Mazzara, who is also no longer a part of The Walking Dead as well, saying that they couldn't write the episode properly and so he was killing off her character. On the day Laurie got the script, she felt like she got shot. None of it was supposed to happen the way it did.
You know, it's sad and depressing. I don't know what to say.
The interesting thing is that in the comics, Andrea Harrison doesn't die in the same way, and she even starts a relationship with Rick. And it's still not 100% clear why Laurie Holden's character was killed off The Walking Dead. Same goes with Michael Rooker, also known as Merle. In his interview with TV Guide, he revealed that the death of Merle Dixon was unexpected for him and left a sour taste in his mouth. Same as Laurie, Michael found out about his death shortly before the shooting day, just 2 weeks before. It may sound funny, but his first thought was of relief because he will never ever wear his arm knife again. Thank you, I don't have to put the goddamn thing on ever again. But then I thought, oh shit, I'm out of a job. And same as Laurie, Michael was far from happy about the studio's decision. He claimed that, even as an actor, he realized he really shouldn't say it. It was a shame and an unfortunate decision, because he cared a lot about his character's development and build-up, and such a violent ending wasn't a true payoff. Seems like things turned out badly for the set after Frank Darabont was removed as a showrunner. No accusations, just summing up all the facts as we know them. Okay, here comes the craziest thing. Real harassment and death threats. No. The actor I'm going to tell you about wasn't killed off in the show, he's still standing, but he had one of the worst times filming The Walking Dead. Josh McDermitt, also known as Eugene. At Josh McDermitt, I hate you more than I hate Joffrey from Game of Thrones! And this was one of the more polite tweets, and a drop in the ocean compared to what else the actor received. Why? I guess some fans just can't separate fiction from real life, and this was something that happened to Eugene Porter, played by Josh McDermitt. People hated his character so much that they started a horrible angry mob with insults and even serious death threats. Things got so bad that Josh had no choice but to quit being on social media. Before that, he posted a video where you can see how offended he was because of the situation. Here's what he said. Don't send me death threats because I will report all that shit to the cops. I'm just sick of it. You can hate Eugene, I don't care. You can think whatever you want, but when you start saying you hope I die, I gotta report that shit. So just don't be an asshole.
Honestly, I wish the big social media companies would go after the bullies more and shut down accounts and that sort of thing, because I don't think they're doing enough.
Thankfully, his true fans started a defensive group apologizing for all the foolish people who can't distinguish fiction from reality. That kind of helped the actor overcome all the stress he had. The only soothing words I can say here is that the whole situation was the perfect sign to the show that Josh McDermitt did his acting job brilliantly. And shame on you, evil people from the internet. Stephen Yeun, also known as Glenn. Many friends stopped watching the show after Glenn Ree's head was violently smashed off by Negan's bat.
She texted me, she's like, "Are you dead?" And I just didn't respond.
If you're one of those who feel sorry for him, don't be. I have some consolation for you. Stephen Yeun wasn't happy with being on the show, and the death of his character brought him some relief. He was the one who said that The Walking Dead gave him an existential crisis. But why? What happened? He started to speak out about his depression after the death of his character, when fans realized how much Glenn meant for them and what connection they had with him. According to Stephen Yeun, it was tough being on the show because he never felt like his character got his fair due. He never felt like Glenn got it from an outward perception. His later interviews sounded like he was deeply disappointed that the showrunners didn't realize how much he meant for the fans. On the other hand, the series swallowed him up for 6 years, and leaving it wasn't only relieving, but pretty hard as well. However, he started a new life, he became a father. You get out of that show and you're about to have a kid and you're an adult now, he said. And you go, holy shit, I'm in charge of my life, I'm making choices, there's no next step. And when someone on the street asked him, dude, wouldn't it be so cool if you did a Glenn origin movie? Stephen answered, no, that would be horrible. But no worries, he's okay now. For the last few years, Stephen has been busy doing voiceovers for Netflix kids shows Troll Hunters, Voltron Legendary Defender, and for Hasbro Studios' Stretch Armstrong and the Flex Fighters. Wow, seems like the Walking Dead cast indeed had some tough times. There have been a lot of disagreements and hatred behind the scenes, and the most thrilling fact is that the 10th season won't be the last one, so who knows? Maybe the list of celebs who have had a horrible time on The Walking Dead will only increase. I hope not. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to our new channel called Awesome Movies, and as always, stay awesome.